All right, folks. Welcome back to Gnostic Groove. I'm your host, Neo. Settle in, grab something warm to sip, and let's dive deeper into the cosmic rabbit hole. Last time, we cracked open the idea that the world we're living in might be more smoke and mirrors than solid truth, a setup designed to keep us distracted from something way bigger. We touched on the Gnostic view that this reality is a flawed creation, spun up by a lesser being called Yaldabaoth, the demiurge, who's basically playing God without the credentials. But here's the kicker. Even in this messed up world, you've got something extraordinary inside you. A divine spark, a piece of eternity that the system can't touch. That's what we're unpacking today in episode 2. Ignite the light inside, the hidden truth. Buckle up, because we're going deep into the Gnostic myths, pulling from ancient texts like the Secret Book of John, the Gospel of Thomas, and the Hypostasis of the Archons. We're not here to spoon-feed you the sanitized Bible stories you grew up with. We're here to rip the veil off and show you what's been hidden. Because the truth isn't out there. It's in you. Let's start with a question. Have you ever felt like something's off about the world? Like no matter how hard you chase success, love, or happiness, there's this nagging emptiness that won't quit. That's not just you having a bad day. According to the Gnostics, that feeling is your soul waking up, sensing the cage we're all born into. They called this cage the material world. And it's not the creation of some all-loving God like the Bible wants you to think. It's the work of Yaldabaoth, a cosmic wannabe who botched the job. The Gnostic texts, especially the Secret Book of John, lay it out plain. This world is a glitch, a shadow of something far greater called the Pleroma, the perfect, eternal realm of the true divine. Picture the Pleroma as pure light, total unity, where everything's whole and nothing's missing. Now picture this world as a knockoff, a dim copy made by someone who didn't read the manual. Here's where it gets wild. In the Secret Book of John, we learn Yaldabaoth isn't just some random bad guy. He's the offspring of Sophia, divine wisdom, who's a piece of the true divine but made a mistake. She acted alone, without her counterpart in the Pleroma, and accidentally birthed this arrogant being who thinks he's the ultimate creator. The Secret Book says, "He is impious in his arrogance which is in him, for he said, 'I am God, and there is no other God beside me,' for he is ignorant of his strength, the place from which he had come." Sound familiar? That's a direct jab at the God of the Old Testament, who says in Isaiah 45:5, "I am the Lord and there is no other." The Gnostics are throwing shade here, saying that's not the true God. That's Yaldabaoth talking, clueless about the real divine. So Yaldabaoth, this self-proclaimed only God, sets up shop with his archons, cosmic minions who help him run this illusion. Together, they craft the material world, a place of limits, pain, and death, to keep us trapped. But here's where the story flips from grim to mind-blowing. You're not just a victim in this setup. You're carrying a secret weapon. The Gnostics say humanity was created as part of Yaldabaoth's ego trip, but the true divine had other plans. Let's break it down with the creation of Adam, straight from the Secret Book of John. Yaldabaoth hears a voice from the Pleroma announcing, "The man exists, and the Son of Man." This is the divine blueprint, the perfect human image from the true God. Jealous and clueless, Yaldabaoth thinks he can copy it. He rallies his archons and says, "Come, let us create a man that may be a likeness of the image we have seen." Notice how close that is to Genesis 1:26. Let us make man in our image. But the Gnostics flip the script. In the Bible, it's painted as a holy act by a perfect God. In Gnostic texts, it's Yaldabaoth and his goons playing mad scientist, trying to mimic something they don't even understand. They build Adam's body from the 4 elements, earth, water, fire, air, piecing him together like a cosmic Lego set. The Secret Book gets weirdly specific here. One archon shapes the skull, another the jaw, another the spine, down to the freaking toenails. It's like a demonic assembly line, with names like Zathoth and Yao slapping parts together. But when they're done, Adam's just a lifeless husk. They've got the form, but no spark. Excited. That's when the true divine pulls a fast one. The Pleroma's higher powers, through providence, think of it as divine foresight, trick Yaldabaoth into breathing his stolen power into Adam. The secret book says, they blew into his face, and the man came to have a soul, but he was still unable to stand upright. That breath isn't just air. It's a fragment of the divine light Yaldabaoth stole from his mother, Sophia. In that moment, Adam becomes more than matter. He's infused with a piece of the Pleroma's light, making him brighter and smarter than his creators. The text says the Archons were troubled because the man had become more intelligent than those who had created him. They realize they've screwed up big time. They've made a being with a connection to the true divine. Frustrated, this is where the Bible starts smelling fishy. Genesis 2:7 says God forms man from dust and breathes life into him, making him a living soul. Sounds nice, right? But the Gnostics say that's Yaldabaoth, not the true God. The Bible spins it as a perfect creation story, but the Gnostics call it a cosmic heist gone wrong. Eden? Not a paradise, but a trap to keep Adam distracted. The Archons stick him in the garden to till it and keep it. Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, which the Gnostics see as busy work to dim his divine spark. Excited. And when Adam eats the fruit, the Bible calls it the fall, blaming Eve. The Gnostics, they say it's the first step toward waking up. Let's talk about Eve, because she's not what you've been told. In Genesis, she's made from Adam's rib, tempted by the serpent, and gets them kicked out of Eden. The Gnostics laugh at that story. In the hypostasis of the Archons, Eve is no afterthought. She's epinoia, the spiritual intuition sent by the true divine to stir Adam's spark. The text says, the epinoia of the light hidden within him was teaching him about his descent from the light. When Adam sees her, he doesn't just see a wife, he sees his own divine reflection. The secret book describes it. Adam saw the woman beside him and recognized his own likeness, saying, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." It's not about romance. It's about self-recognition, the soul waking up to its divine roots. The Bible flips Eve into the bad guy, but the Gnostics call her the hero, the spark's first nudge toward freedom. This is huge, so let's pause. Take a breath. Think about how you've been taught to see yourself. Flawed, sinful, needing to earn your worth. What if that's the Archons talking, keeping your spark asleep? The Gnostics say you're twofold, a body stuck in this mess, but a soul tied to the Pleroma. The Gospel of Thomas puts it bluntly, if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. That's your divine spark, buried under the noise of jobs, bills, social media likes. It's why you feel that itch for something more, even when life's fine. Now, let's go deeper into how this world keeps that spark dim. The Archons aren't just ancient myths. They're the systems around us. Think about it. Capitalism pushes you to chase money, status, stuff that never fills the void. Schools drill facts but rarely ask, who are you? Media sells you images of who you're supposed to be. It's all designed to keep you distracted, feeding what the Gnostics call the counterfeit spirit. In the secret book of John, they describe it as a bond of forgetfulness that makes us drunk on the world, forgetting our divine origin. Sound like modern life? Endless scrolling, anxiety, that feeling you're never enough. It's like the Archons wrote the playbook. But here's the hope. Your spark can't be snuffed out. That inner vision, that gut feeling, not blind faith, not dogma, but knowing. Actuokamis Nagordonova. The Gospel of Thomas says, "The kingdom is inside you, and it is outside you. When you know yourselves, Then you will be known. This isn't about escaping the world, it's about seeing through it. You're not a cog in the machine, that's the child of the true divine, temporarily exiled. Let's zoom out to what this means for you right now. If you're feeling trapped by a job, a relationship, self-doubt, that's the Archon's game. But your spark is your way out. Fiends, your work that the divine voice tells Adam, arise, Adam, and become sober. That's a call to wake up, to question everything. Why do you feel unworthy? Who decided what success may canvassy? The Gnostic teacher Valentinus wrote, what liberates is the knowledge of who we were, what we became, where we were, where we are going. You weak force, the Gnostic. Start asking those dogs and the illusion starts to crack. To a real-world angle, look at how society gaslights us into thinking we're broken. Mental health struggles, burnout, that constant pressure to hustle, ayer. That's the counterfeit spirit at work, clouding your spark. The Gordon Gaia Chu says, the Archons use their power to keep us chained to this world, feeding us illusions to block out the truth. They're not just cosmic boogeymen, they're the forces behind the grind, the ones whispering, you gotta buy more, be more, do more to matter. It's a rigged game, dear seeker. The system's built to keep you running on their treadmill, too busy to notice the divine light you're carrying. Ancients of Plantic Pisi, the Good of John warns about this trap. The Archons craft a counterfeit spirit to make you forget your real roots. It's like they've hacked your mind, replacing your inner gnosis with FOMO, stress, and self-doubt. Ever wonder why no matter how much you achieve, it never feels like enough? That's their design, not your failure. Thank you. Now let's get practical. The Gnostics weren't just about mystical vibes. They had a playbook for breaking free. Step 1. Stop buying the lies. The Gospel of Thomas drops a bomb in saying 3. If your leaders say to you, look, the kingdom is in the sky, then the birds will get there before you. If they say it's in the sea, then the fish will beat you to it. The point? Stop looking outside for answers. Your spark's already in you. No priest, no guru, no influencer can hand you the truth. Gnosis is about trusting your own inner voice over the noise. Ever catch yourself knowing something deep down but you ignored it because experts said otherwise? That's the moment to lean in. Tomb, where it gets crazier. The Archons don't just control through distractions, they weaponize fear. Think about how society pushes conformity. Question the narrative, and you're labeled a weirdo, or worse. The Gnostics saw this coming. In the arpostasis of the Archons, the rulers try to scare Adam and Eve back into line after they eat the fruit, threatening them with death and exile. Sound like modern cancel culture? Step out of line and the system tries to shame you into silence. But the Gnostics say that fear's a bluff. Your spark's untouchable. The Gospel of Philip puts it like this: as long as the soul remains strong, no power can bind it. That's your superpower, dear seeker. Your soul's stronger than their threats. Let's talk about the fruit in Eden. Because the Gnostics flipped that story hard. The Bible says eating the fruit was sin, but arpostasis of the Archons calls it liberation. The serpent? Not Satan, but a messenger of the true divine, waking Eve up to her spark. When she eats, her eyes open, she sees the lie of the garden. The Archons panic because knowledge is their kryptonite. That's why the system hates questions. Schools teach you what to think, not how. Media feeds you scripts. But Gnosis is rebellion. It's daring to ask, what if everything I've been told is a lie? Ever had a moment where you questioned the whole game? Why we're all chasing the same shallow goals? That's your spark talking. Now, here's the wild part. The Gnostics say this fight's not just personal, it's cosmic. You're not just freeing yourself. You're helping undo Yaldabaoth's whole scam. Every time you choose Gnosis over ignorance, you weaken the Archon's grip. The secret book of John says the true divine sent a luminous epinoia to guide humanity back to the pleroma. That's not some far-off savior. It's your intuition, your gut, that nagging feeling there's more to life. The archons want you numb, scrolling, obedient. But every time you pause, reflect, or chase what sets your soul on fire, you're punching holes in their matrix. Let's bring it home. You don't need a temple or a TED Talk to find your spark. Start small. Next time you feel that itch, like something's missing, don't drown it in Netflix or a double-shot latte. Sit with it. Ask, what's this feeling trying to tell me? The Gospel of Thomas says, seek and you will find. That's not a fortune cookie platitude. It's a call to dig into yourself. The archons can't touch your inner light, but they'll try to bury it under noise. Question the noise, dear seeker. Why do you feel like you need to follow the script, job, house, 2.5 kids? Who's that script serving? What's one thing in your life right now that feels like it's dimming your vibe, keeping you stuck? I'm curious. Hit me with it.
All right, Cosmic Seekers. We've journeyed through the shadows of Yaldabaoth's illusion, uncovered the divine spark that's been pulsing in you all along, and armed ourselves with Gnosis to shatter the chains. Remember, this world's a stage, but you're not just an actor, you're the director of your own awakening. Don't let the archons dim your light. Ignite it, question the script, and step into your true power. If today's dive stirred something in you, share it, drop a comment, spread the groove. Until next time on Gnostic Groove, where we'll explore the path to reclaiming your pleroma essence. Stay lit, stay sovereign. This is Neo, signing off. Peace.